Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something honestly kind of radically different. Usually, we're diving deep into massive data sets or, sifting through complex research. But today, we're going to entirely deconstruct a single 13-word imperative. Yep, just 13 words. And we're going to look at it through a very specific lens. My 30 years, wow, has it been that long? 30 years of experience in actuarial science and risk management. You see, in my world, we literally calculate risk for a living. But within this tiny little quote lies a huge, profound philosophy. Sometimes, over-analyzing is a massive risk in itself. So let's jump right in and extract every ounce of value from this perfectly structured sentence to show you exactly how to break free from analysis paralysis.
All right, so here is our sole piece of source material for today's explainer. The best way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Wow. Just let the stark simplicity of that sink in for a second. There is absolutely no fluff here, right? No academic jargon, no ambiguity. It's just a raw, unfiltered observation about human behavior and how progress actually works. It's only one sentence, but as we're going to see, it functions like an absolute masterclass in generating momentum. We're going to break down exactly how and why these 13 words work so effectively to cut right through all our everyday excuses.
So, that brings us to our first structural beat, Section 1. The dilemma or the challenge of getting started.
Now, why is getting started always the absolute hardest part? Well, our source text hits the nail on the head here. It validates that simply starting is a completely distinct, uniquely difficult phase of any action. From a risk management standpoint, the start is the ultimate critical point of failure, mostly because it introduces so many unknowns. I want you to think about your own life for a minute. We all have that one project we've been circling around, right? We stall out because staying put, well, it feels safe. We overanalyze things as a defense mechanism, like a misguided attempt at mitigating risk. But the inertia of doing absolutely nothing is incredibly powerful. And usually, the way we try to fix it is the exact thing keeping us stuck.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 2. Two opposing forces, the obstacle versus the catalyst.
Look at how this slide brilliantly illustrates the inherent tension here. We've got talking squarely pitted against doing. In my line of work, assessing risk, talking really loves to dress itself up as productive planning, right? We think we're being careful, but our source text completely reclassifies talking. It says, no, talking is the obstacle. It's the friction. It's totally an illusion of progress. You are either trapped in this endless, cozy loop of talking, or you are breaking out into reality through the raw act of doing. It sets up this strict binary system where action is literally the only real catalyst.
And look closely at the definitive command the text issues right here. Quit talking. It doesn't suggest that you talk a little less. It doesn't advise you to wrap up the meeting. It uses the powerful finite word quit. That is a hard full stop command. The text is making the argument that to get any real momentum going, the physical act of discussing the thing has to completely terminate. It's fascinating, honestly. It's almost aggressive. It leaves absolutely zero wiggle room for negotiation or procrastination. The talking literally has to die so the action can live.
To really grasp the mechanics of this, we need to break down the syntax of these two verbs, quit and begin. The quote demands an immediate behavioral pivot. Think about it. Quit is an action of subtraction. You are forcibly yanking a comfortable habit right out of your routine. But begin is addition. You're initiating a new, probably pretty uncomfortable behavior. And the text weaves these two together so tightly, they basically have to happen simultaneously. If you don't make that synchronized jump from passive talking to active doing, the opportunity cost is massive. Honestly, every second you spend just talking is a missed chance to stress test your ideas out there in the real world. Okay, let's shift gears to Section 3, the action plan, from philosophy to procedure.
What I absolutely love about this quote is that it's not just some abstract, pie-in-the-sky philosophy. It is literally an actionable procedure. By pulling out those verbs we just talked about, the text transforms into a hypnotic, two-step operational rhythm. Step 1, quit talking. Step 2, begin doing. That's it. That's the whole shebang. When you're staring down the risk of inaction, you don't need some crazy complex flowchart. You just need this simple binary checklist. Have you completed Step 1? Great. Now immediately proceed to Step 2. It strips away all the noise, all that over-analysis, and leaves you with exactly what you need to move forward.
Now, the really crucial point here is how the source material frames this entire procedure. Notice that bold claim right at the front, the best way. It doesn't say this is just a way to get started. It claims absolute, unrivaled supremacy. And looking at it through the lens of decades spent managing risk, I can tell you for sure you simply cannot outplan or outtalk every variable. You just can't. Action is the only reliable way to test an idea against reality. Cutting the chatter and jumping straight into the work is the ultimate unrivaled catalyst for progress.
So we've taken 13 incredibly simple words and basically unpacked an entire instruction manual from them. Now, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to chew on. What are you going to quit talking about and begin doing today? Take this two-step procedure, look closely at those stalled projects in your own life, and realize that, honestly, sometimes the biggest risk you can take is overanalyzing instead of just executing. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Remember, the blueprint for momentum is simple. Quit the talk, begin the work. I'll see you in the next explainer.